Lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people in Afghanistan face legal challenges not experienced by non-LGBT residents. Members of the LGBTQ+ community are forced to keep their gender identity and sexual orientation a secret in fear of harassment, intimidation, persecution, and death. The religious nature of the nation and a lack of public education on the subject has limited any opportunity for public discussion, with any mention of homosexuality and related terms deemed taboo. The Constitution of Afghanistan establishes the prominence of Sharia law as a precursor to all other laws, policies, and regulations, allowing for religious interpretations by the state in prohibiting all forms of same-sex sexual activity. Although the Penal Code of 1976 was reinstated after the American invasion of 2001, the country's new Penal Code of 2017 came into force on February 14, 2018. The new Penal Code outlines and prohibits specific activities of a sexual nature, and is considered to disproportionately affect members of the LGBTQ+ community. The Penal Code of 1976 was reinstated after the U.S. operation in the region, and it has several provisions that could apply LGBT people. This Penal Code has been replaced by the Penal Code of 2018. The Constitution stipulates that Afghanistan is an Islamic republic, so it is possible for LGBT people in Afghanistan to be charged with violating Sharia law. This could happen in lieu of, or in addition to charges being brought under the Penal Code. Sharia law-based punishment is more likely to occur in isolated, rural communities where private citizens and vigilant groups seek to punish anyone who does not follow strict Islamic morals. In the cities, persons convicted of homosexuality are generally sentenced to prison. In 2004, an American advisor to the Afghanistan government was arrested and sentenced to a prison sentence for homosexual activities with an Afghan man. Other news reports have also noted that other men have been imprisoned for engaging in such same-sex sexual behavior. Territory controlled by Al-Qaeda is ruled by a strict interpretation of Islamic or Sharia law. All sexual behavior outside of a lawful Islamic marriage is illegal, with the maximum punishment being death. When the Taliban gained control of the country in the 1990s, they criminalized all sexual relationships outside of the heterosexual marriage, and would often publicly execute men and women for committing fornication and adultery and for engaging in sodomy. In 1994, the Taliban supreme leader, Mullah Omar, saved a boy from being sodomized by two feuding generals in Kandahar, and when he was subsequently given control of the city, he decreed that both violent and mutually consensual sodomy would be capital crimes. The Afghanistan law of marriages stipulates that a legal marriage must be between two Muslim adults of the opposite sex, and that it must meet the rules of Islamic law. While the law does not explicitly address the issue of same-sex couples, Article 41 of the marriage law stipulates that where the law is silent on a particular issue, it shall be decided based on the principles of Islamic law. Hence, Afghanistan family law does not recognize same-sex marriages, civil unions or domestic partnerships. Likewise, the Afghanistan law on marriages, weddings and circumcision speaks of marriage as something between a Muslim man and woman and states that marriages must follow Islamic law. Article 430 states that it shall be treated as instigation of delinquency if an adult promotes or assists in the act of minors being involved in the act of adultery, homosexuality or prostitution. No law exists in Afghanistan to address discrimination or harassment on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. In response to foreign inquiries, the Afghan Social Democratic Party stated that it favored an international effort to fight the AIDS/HIV pandemic, but that homosexuality and same-sex marriages are opposed by all great religions. No political party or interest group has expressed support for LGBT rights. Afghanistan law currently prohibits a political party, interest group or social club from advocating anything that is in opposition to Islamic morality. Absent a change in the law, it is unlikely that a political or social organization advocating LGBT rights will be permitted to exist and promote its viewpoints. Afghanistan's population is over 99% Muslim, and the country's constitution stipulates that Islam shall be the official religion. Homosexuality and cross-dressing are widely seen as taboo and indecent activities, owing to traditional Islamic views concerning appropriate gender roles in sexual conduct. When publicly discussed, homosexuality is often linked with prostitution and pedophilia, and the level of awareness about sexual orientation or gender identity is limited. In 2011, Afghan news reporters interviewed men who had LGBT pride symbols on their vehicles to find out that the men were unknown.